4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I hear voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me. Ooga chaka, ooga, ooga, ooga chaka. Phenomena. Tiptoe through the tulips with me.
You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind to...
Talk supernatural. This one's explosive.
Welcome to the podcast MVP, explaining all of what you can't see. Rocking the mic and getting you psyched. It's time for an epic TSR night.
This is Talk Supernatural Radio, where we bring you Supernatural 411 from the U.S. to the U.K., up north to down under, Rhode Island to Easter Island, from the outback to the front door, even through Crapstone, U.K. to Moron, Cuba. And if you are listening, you are right where you're supposed to be.
The views and opinions and personalities expressed on this show are those solely of TSR and do represent who we are and what we believe. If you don't like satire, if you find rabbit trailing annoying, if you don't like to laugh, if you can't handle the truth, do not listen to this show. We are not responsible for your nightmares, denial issues, bleeding ears, or annoyance.
Okay, well, what's up? What's shaking? Searchers of truth, seekers of the supernatural. Thanks for checking out another episode of TSR. We are Heidi and Scott Linden on the front lines of Cray. To broadcast the supernatural. To share with you the news, the facts, the experiences, the stories, with laughs and words for you to live right by.
That was a stellar performance. Tonight we're going to get into some para-news and headlines, bizarre stories, truth, rantin' and ravin', and more truth. But first, we did have tons of emails backlogged, and a lot of people were saying, where are your shout-outs? How come you haven't, put us on? I guess people like to hear their name on podcasts. So, I don't know. I guess we could do that. First order of business.
We could.
All right, let's do that.
All right, who's going to go first? Who's going to go first?
You go first.
You sure made a lot of noise with your paper.
Sorry. Go ahead.
All right, where's your shout-outs, Ben? Got to give your listeners some love, TSR. I found you last month and catching up on the past shows every day. Got to say, this is one of the best damn shows on this stuff out there. You two crack me up, and I also appreciate the info you give. I need, not want, but need a shout-out. Emily from...
No, Emil.
That's what I said.
Uh-oh. It's Emil.
Emil in my country.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
Emil in Silver City, New Mexico.
Maybe it is Emily. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
E-M-I-L-L-E. Is that Emil or Emily? I feel really bad.
But I'm going to lean towards Emily. I mean, that's the more...
I thought it was Emil.
But it could be. It's not...
Now you got to write us and tell us. So we'll cover. Maybe there's an Emily and an Emil in New Mexico that listen to us.
Yeah.
So, hey.
In the same city, too. I don't know how big Silver City is.
I don't know.
I've been in New Mexico, but not Silver City.
I drove through there once. All right. Okay. Here's one. What up, Heidi and Scott? I'm a podcast lover, and your show is this fan's favorite. What I like about you is...
What I like about you...
is all the different things you share, from those stupid cities in the intro to the mega interesting mysteries you talk about. I like all areas... I like all areas of the paranormal. I have a question for you. I totally believe you when you say only God can remove a demon or spirit. But then why do some metaphysical or spiritual non-Christian cleansings work sometimes? And you know what? I don't have a name here, so I don't know who that's from. They didn't have a name. I bet
they have a name.
Well, I'm sure they have a name. They copied and pasted it, and I left out their name, or
it was never there.
Right.
Probably.
Whoops. Okay, so do you want to hit that?
Hit
Why,
it? I don't
why do
know.
some metaphysical or spiritual non-Christian cleansings work sometimes?
Work for how long?
That's the point.
And work to what extent?
Well, sometimes they work, and then it's sort of a ploy. So whatever's there, once whoever's trying to get rid of it to
And they're
leave.
saying a non-Christian what?
Why do some metaphysical or spiritual non-Christian cleansings work?
And then also, when did they work?
Well, we know that sometimes they seem like they work. Yeah. And I think that's what probably they're talking about. But
Well, we've been fooled by that.
Well, sure, we have. And then
More than once.
before we did Christian cleansings, I guess you could call it that. It's basically not a cleansing when you do it biblically. When you do it biblically, you just go through it and you speak out God's name and you cast it out and it's gone. So it's not necessarily a cleansing.
Well, they get the cleansing, I think, when you cast these out and your house is found clean or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Well, in the New Age movement, they talk about cleansing where you do the smudging and all this stuff. And
that just makes your house smell.
yeah, and dusty.
And dusty.
Yeah, and the reason that they work sometimes is because whatever's there is trying to fool you, and then they leave. But then the Bible does say that they will come back stronger and harder. So you have to do it the right way, and and sometimes they lay dormant for quite a while. Calling all their friends, hey, I know where there's a party, man. So that's why. All right, go ahead.
Okay, my name is Mike. Actually, I'm Scott. And I'm reading this. This is what he said. This is what Mike said.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Okay. So, because my name ain't Mike.
No. Yeah,
This
you're going
guy
to confuse
is.
everybody.
All right. Fine. Okay. My name is Mike, and I am a new listener. He just started listening. That's great.
Hi, Mike.
It must have sucked all them years he couldn't hear. Been loving your shows. I download, and me and my fiancé listen on the drive to see my kids. It feels like you guys are in the car with me all the way from Kent, Ohio, to Foxburg, Pennsylvania. Other shows have nothing on you guys. Keep making it fresh. Feel free to give me a shout out. Mike Hollenbach from Kent, Ohio.
Shout out. Hey, Mike.
Or it could be C. We discussed this. It could
What?
be Hollenbach.
Boy, we can't get anybody's name
Well, I
right.
know, because
It's probably Hollenbach. That's what
Yeah.
I would think.
he's gonna
So,
let
hey,
us
Mike.
know.
All right, one more. Hi, my name is Liam Norwich from San Diego, California. Talk Supernatural Radio is awesome. You are our Block's BBQ entertainment
Get
every
down with
TGI Friday night.
Get down with BBQ.
We hook up the show to the garage speakers.
Take a little chicken, put it on the grill.
Scott,
What?
can I read this?
Yeah, go ahead.
You're a little distracting with the jousting of your body. Okay. They hook up the garage speakers, and it's beer, burgers, and bizarre. The hosts really make the show.
That's the BBB.
The BBB, but it's a BBQ. So I don't know.
Ah,
I'm emailing with a question. It really isn't a supernatural one, but personal. Listening to you every week for almost a year, I feel like we're tight. So do share. Can you tell each one thing to your listeners about yourselves that we may not know? Thanks in advance. We'll be listening. All right.
something they don't know. Do you feel moved?
I
Do you feel moved to tell them something?
There's a lot that people don't know about me.
Yeah.
I just don't know
It's
what
quite
to
a bit
say.
I ain't figured out about you either.
I have a license as a reverend. So
right.
I can marry people and perform funerals and stuff, which I do not. And I believe that God ordains people anyways. But in this world, you have to have some kind of paper and all that stuff. But I am legally able to do that, perform those things.
I'm drawing a blank.
What? There's so many things.
I just can't think of
I know.
things.
I'll tell you something about Scott. He can karaoke to, who's that guy? Neil Diamond, like nobody's business. Yeah, it's awesome. And when we were dating, he used to do it, and all the women would be like, ah! And I'd be like, back off. So, there. Now,
Okay, because
so,
I couldn't think of nothing.
I don't know. I couldn't either, but I don't know.
It's like, okay.
But I'm a woman, so I can always find something
Oh,
to
and
say.
I'm not a woman. Now, there's something they may have.
I'm sure they knew that.
You're a woman, and I'm not a woman.
Well, that's right.
There's like it's a bonus round.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so tonight we are going to get into some para news and headlines. The first one is Did the Jesus statue open its eyes? We watched this video. So it sounds like a headline from the Inquirer, but it is all over the news, especially in world religion news, believe it or not. There's this video that's gone viral, and it's a Jesus statue opening its eyes during a church service in Mexico. The video was taken in June during a church service at the Chapel of Saltillo. And if anybody knows me, they know that I can never pronounce cities or people's names. I'm terrible.
I'm pretty bad at it.
Oh, good. Then, see, we're perfect for each other. In this video, it appears that the statue, which was created and hangs with its... Now, that's the thing. Is it eyes closed? Are the eyes supposed to be open?
Closed.
Okay, that's what I thought. But it has its eyes wide open, so as this guy is videotaping, he notices that the eyes are open, so he looks, zooms in, and then all of a sudden a few seconds go by, and the statue's eyes are staring right at the camera, and then they suddenly close. And the man that's filming pulls away in shock, and then a minute or two, the video ends. So, some say it's a miracle, a sign from heaven. Some say it's a hoax. Some people are saying it's demonic. And you and I were talking, and you came up with something interesting.
Well, I didn't know the background. Who's to say it wasn't just a real person?
And then I looked at him you know what? It does look like it's a real person hanging up there.
I mean... I don't know the background of the rest of the story, but I'm like... Well,
I will put the link up on our Facebook page so people can take a look at it, or they can YouTube it themselves.
When did this happen? Was it a special holiday?
No, this was done in June. So, and I don't know if there's anything special in Mexico in June, but... and the thing is, too, I was thinking, first of all, okay, so... Why was a person videotaping during a church service? Good,
exactly. There you go. All the little things we don't think about asking.
Yeah, so okay, who does that? Ooh, and so, because I was like, okay, why was he focused on the Jesus statue? But then when I was reading the article, it said that he saw that the eyes were open, so that's why all of a sudden it zoomed in. But I'm thinking, why are you videotaping a church service first place? So I don't, and then, the Bible says that Satan can come as an angel of light. So there's plenty of times where he's done miracles to fool people. What about, when was it? Was it India a long time ago where those little cow statues were sucking up spoons of milk? Remember that?
They were thirsty.
They were thirsty cow statues.
Do that, yeah. It's real common.
Or the big one was those, what?
But you just got to go farther east. The farther east you go,
yeah,
you kind of get the cows that...
They suck up.
Yeah, they do. That's just what they do, yeah.
Oh.
They're sucky cows.
Sucky cows in the east.
Absolutely. So, yeah.
Well,
I just want to help you out with what you're talking about. Go ahead.
There was the chicks in Fatima who said that the Virgin Mary spoke to them, but that's not... But then everybody started flocking to this place, and I watched this video they said that the sun was pulsating. And everybody was like, oh... And I don't know. I saw the sun pulsating too, but I don't know what that was all about. And everybody that was there saw it, so it wasn't like it was a camera trick. Well, so, Satan can do these things because I don't think that it's God, because the Bible says that we're not supposed to make any kind of graven image of anything, heaven or earth. Right,
heaven or earth or in the sea beneath.
So if people are worshiping statues of Mary or Mary herself or statues of Jesus, God wouldn't want that to have glory, so I can't see God doing that.
Absolutely.
And the whole Mary thing, I don't know. Mary, God does... And then possibly, the devil, it could have been a real miracle, not miracle, but a real supernatural act. Maybe it was the devil flicking the eyes to freak this guy out so everybody in the YouTube could see.
IDK's on this story for me.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Because, there's always somebody trying to draw attention to their place or their church or something that's going, you find out years down the road, so you're like, you know what, I really don't know.
That's true. There's a lot of people that...
All things are possible.
It could totally be phony, fake too. Yeah. So if this is supposedly taken in June, why are we just seeing it now? Yeah. Who knows? So, I don't know. It's interesting. Okay, another story. The Scotland poltergeist. On August 8th and 9th, police were called to a home on Stonelaw Road in Rutherglen, Scotland. Scotland. Catherine Shreeran? I suck at names. They're probably... I'll mess up Smith. Shreeran. Well, I guess
51. Okay. Called police to investigate a disturbance at her neighbor's. Police said they assumed it was a mental illness disturbance, but don't feel that way now, do they? They saw the pair of events. Dun, dun, dun.
Officers witness clothes fly across the room. Go ahead.
The
Lights turning off
and
and on.
Light
shades turn upside down.
Oh no, no. A chica huahana.
No, a chihuahua.
It's a chihuahua.
What'd you think it was, a chupacabra?
Yeah. You can't
You thought
see
it was a
that well.
chupacabra.
Okay,
and a chupacabra on their bushes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, no, we're going to have a heart attack. No, a chihuahua, not a
A
chihuahua.
chihuahua, not a chihuahua.
Oh, you're going to finish this because I'm laughing so
A chihuahua on top of the 7-foot hedge. Cops said they can't explain all of what they saw. They advised the family, called in a Catholic church to bless the home.
Now, there's also a Scottish medium who's jumping on this total event. He claims to be able to communicate with the dead with help from his spirit guide, Father Joseph. And he releases spirits through his own body. And I'm not going to give this guy's name because he doesn't need any 5 minutes of fame here. Now, I hate people who do this.
Huckleberry.
Yeah, we're not going to be Huckleberry. I love it. Okay, so Miss Sheeran, who has also... Now, here's where I got confused in the article, because the article said that Miss Sheeran was the neighbor and she called police, but then here it says she'd also been living at the property with her son. So I don't know if she was living at a house on the same property, and that's why they were neighbors. But they left their home because of this. And the officers say that they're looking into the history of the property to see if there's any explanation for the strange events. So the cops witnessed stuff. You know, when the cops witness stuff, there's little credibility going on there.
Right.
You know?
It helps.
Now, the first thing, who do you really call when you have a haunting? Think about it. You know, and I'm not talking, I see orbs in my pictures.
No, we're talking about,
like
being scared and
I mean, obviously you take off to go to a hotel because that's what they did in Poltergeist. Remember that? And they put their TV outside.
Well, it makes more sense than, staying there, but...
Yeah, and I know some people can't afford a hotel or, but I'm thinking, then at that point, what do you do? I mean, yeah, you call paranormal investigators, but they don't get rid of it usually. Or, that's, people are like, why don't they just move? You hear that all the time, but you can't.
I would at least, for me, I don't know, maybe put the vacuum cleaner on.
What?
Well, it's better than nothing. You might be able to suck one up.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I thought you meant they were going to vacuum for you.
No, I'm just saying, it may not be the power pack, thing. And
the power of Christ compels you in the vacuum?
That, but we could definitely at least give it a try.
That might be something.
Yeah.
Well, I know that
in the containment center.
When I lived, me and Jamie, my son lived in that apartment that was haunted. I had to have TV on all the time just to drown out noise because I was freaked out. The lights were always on. Radio was always on. No one would ever...
Wasting electricity has nothing to do with anything else.
Probably cost more, all the electricity. But I had to have noise and stuff because it freaked me out. I couldn't afford to move. Maybe I could have, but it's like he was at a school and we were pretty used to it. But in this case, these people obviously weren't and they were freaking out enough for neighbors to call for the disturbance. So, and then let's talk about Catholic priests coming in or anybody coming in to bless a home.
The blessing.
You can't... A blessing of a house does not get rid of spirits. That was in Amityville. I think the first one, the old school one. And blessing a house is for when you move into a new home and you have your priest or your pastor or whatever come.
It's like a prayer.
Yeah, saying,
let you
prosper in the house and have joy and peace in the house, love. Yeah, all that. Exactly. You're in a singing kind of mood. I love it.
Because I'm a singer, I'm a swinger, with the skies are blue, and I love you, I'm a singer. You remember that cartoon?
No.
Yeah, he was like a little bird.
I do.
Yeah.
Now that you say that, I do
one
remember
wanted
that.
to be like and one was...
Okay, it's TMI. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Go.
So, yeah. But I don't think that a Catholic priest coming in with some holy water is going to drown out demons or a poltergeist, which I'm iffy about. But next week we're actually going to be talking about that stuff. So if your house is haunted, I guess the best thing to do would be to get out in any way possible. I'd rather sleep in my car than deal with a ghost.
What if the car decides just to do the whole Christine thing? Oh, great. Now you just left one into another. It's in control of you.
Well, often spirits are attacking people and not the house. So it can happen wherever you go. Yeah. But, again, you don't hear about that too often where spirits follow you. So you just feel better when you're somewhere else.
That's true.
Like in that movie, The Entity, it was a true story. Carla Moran was in the movie, but Barbara Hershey played her. I forgot the real chick's name. But when she went to her friends with her kids, that spirit followed her and blew out all their windows. And her friend and her friend's fiance or husband witnessed it. So this thing followed her in the car. And
well, it follows. It tends to follow people, but it can follow locations and areas and stuff.
Yeah. So, I would just get out of the house is the number one thing. But I guess who you would call, you would have to,
Is this number 2 then?
2 is you get out.
The number 1 was get out.
Yeah, and number 2
Wait, number 2.
Thank you. I feel important. I guess would be to pray and ask God, using the name Jesus, because that's what's got the power, to protect you and your kids.
Yeah, you better do something in a hurry.
And, anybody, you hear people go to a priest. And I always find it interesting that people who don't go to church or whatever, the first thing they do is they call a priest. It's like, oh, really? What have you done for God?
Well, they've been indoctrinated in what they've seen in their examples for their life. So
yeah,
it's just a lack of knowledge.
Yeah, but then a lot of priests, and I shouldn't say priests, but a lot of heads of churches don't recognize that kind of activity. And so they're not going to deal with it. We've had plenty of people email us and ask us for help because with SWAT because their church won't help them or...
Well, there's a lot of different reasons. People can just be weird sometimes. They're just making a lot of stuff up. Something goes wrong. Those who know that these things are true and have felt these spiritual things happen, well, then those who know about it within the church with the power that would say, hey, you realize that when we begin to deal with stuff like this, you can open a can of something you want nothing to do with.
Yeah, right.
And so a lot of them will lean for that reason. Some don't believe, so.
Yeah, it's a hard situation. That's why our group, SWAT, EPH612, SWAT.com. That's why we have that, because you can ask us for advice, and there's a lot of resources on there.
And I have plenty of advice to give.
But you also have to be careful when you find people online, because there's a lot of people that claim to be something they're not, and you will bring in another can of worms. So you got to be real careful. It's sort of tricky.
That's right.
And another point is calling a medium. Like this person, this Scottish medium is trying to...
I wouldn't even screw around at this point. This is where people really screw up. What do you do when you don't call the medium? You go right to the extra large. You just... Why would you start small? Let's deal with this now. Let's get that... Maybe it's a double XL that you need, or a triple, but a medium?
Yeah.
Really?
Go for the gusto.
Let's go with the small. Why not just hit this thing hard?
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so I said my 2 cents on this.
Okay. Well, in this case, the Scottish medium decided is actually publicly putting a plea out for this family. Let me help you. So... and this person's saying that they can do all this. And one, they're probably looking for the attention and for the money. So now everybody knows who this person is. That's why we're not going to say the name. And then the other thing is, when you call in a medium, you do not really know what spirits that person has. Any kind of clairvoyant or psychic, they carry with them spirits. Right. So you are not... And the Bible talks about that. It's like, if you're working... for the same team, you're not going to be helping out, so it's like if you're the devil and you're working for the devil. So you have to be careful. You don't know. Are you going to sing songs that everything
seems to fit tonight.
No, you just all in here, it fits in there.
Left a good job in the city. Okay,
so calling in help with a psychic is definitely not the answer. I wouldn't do it because you don't know what you're going to get. And you got to trust.
Fuel to the fire.
Well, what about that case? Well, we've had many cases, but we've talked about it many times where that guy, he thought he was trusting his landlord who was a shaman. And things just got 10 times worse for him. And then she had a reason for everything. Oh, maybe it's just worse than I thought. Or maybe there's more than one. Or maybe we angered it. It's like, no, it's you. You can't do this stuff.
It's you.
There is one power only that's going to get rid of spirits. So, and the whole spirit guide thing, again, we're going to get into this stuff next week, but dangerous. Okay, spirit guide named Father Joseph. Okay, so first of all, Father Joseph sounds like he would be Catholic. And in the Bible, it says that you can't talk to, like, do psychics and all that stuff. So for this person to say, my spirit guy's name is Father Joseph, that is just, like, contradicting itself. It says it right there. Red flag, listen to TSR. We know what we're talking about. Very unbiblical.
I think he's sorry.
No, he's not sorry. He wants to do more.
He's very sorry
That's
for
like
doing it.
Sylvia Brown talked about Francine, her spirit guide Francine all the time. Oh, gosh. Ugh, all right. Lisa Tenney. Lisa. Oh, Lord. Okay. Lisa's a life coach. And she says she was sexually attacked by aliens when she was younger, but she did love some of them like family. Lisa claims that she was abducted for the first time at 6 years old. She's now 40. And she said that the aliens came through her bedroom wall and took her with them.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. A little
Toto?
vacation.
I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
That's what it reminds me of. Little nutso.
Yeah.
So she said that they looked like static, like particles, and would solidify as they came through the wall. When you solidify, don't you get hard?
Yes. Crusty dry.
Weird. She said she would watch her body do the same thing, and then she would move through the wall too.
Huh. Kind of like the old Star Trek, when you used to leave, all your little...
Yeah,
little
pixels.
dots, yeah, turn like little...
She describes them as humanoid with arms, legs, and a head, but no genitals, because, we always want to look and see. Large.
What is that green nasty thing?
Gross. Large black oil-like eyes, tiny ears and a tiny mouth, but it spoke through the mind. Lisa's from Idaho, and she thinks she was visited by several kinds of extraterrestrials, including those from a government project she calls My Lab. She says those were aggressive, and they probed her genitals. Maybe because they didn't have any. They wanted,
all like,
ooh, what's that? The other aliens that...
You got an extra compartment! Just keep going.
Okay. The other aliens that contacted her, however, were much more welcoming, and Lisa even considered some of them to be family. Yes. She describes them as higher dimensional, more conscious in their heart. Whatever that means. I don't know what that means.
Don't be so judgmental.
I'm really trying not to be because, but it's really difficult.
Focus on that,
All
which
right.
is important.
Okay, so
Yes,
let's wonder here, is there mental illness going on?
Absolutely not.
You don't think so?
Huh?
What do you think?
Well, she's whacked, man. No doubt.
She said the one being that came to her the most, and her sister as well, she'd call her mom.
Well, is she this, is she that, or is she this? What do you think? What do you think? We're not, like we said it, I think last time or time before, we live within different realms. And sometimes we can see within a realm and see things in a different perspective. So she sees these things, and to her it may be real. Maybe it is real in that dimension. I mean, there's something, there's a lot of junk we've learned is real we didn't think was.
So
who's to say?
Do you think maybe they're demonic? And she's seeing them as aliens?
I think anytime that you're not in clear conscious or thought.
Who says she's not in clear conscious or thought, though?
As we see it, then something more is going on. It has to be spiritual.
Well, she said the friendlier aliens apparently would probe her multiple times, but she didn't mind it as much. And then she has a message that I want people to know it's all right to talk about this and to stop being afraid of the stigma of you're crazy, and this is more normal than people want to admit. So, and if you guys want to hear Lisa's interview, it's on Earth Mystery News, their social media channel. So I don't know. Now, here's the thing. There have been so many people that claim to have very similar encounters. There was this American woman who claimed to have been abducted by extraterrestrials earlier this year. She apparently took selfies with her mobile phone, and she said that she had like 40 some pictures. She even went to the cops or the media, and there were like 40 pictures taken all crazy. She said she was lighting her cigarette with her stove in the kitchen, and then next thing you know, she woke up somewhere else, and she's like, oh, I was abducted, and there were all these weird pictures. And then there was a man from Limerick, Ireland, and he believed he was confronted by cone-headed aliens. However, he was on the way back from the pub at the time. So now, I don't know. I guess my view would be, because people are going to say, oh, she's crazy, mental illness, and I don't know. I'm not an alien person. I'm not a UFO person. I believe that there are things in the sky that we don't know, unidentified flying objects, yes. But I personally do not believe in aliens. I don't. So that's just me. I don't have any proof of that. So, but I don't know if I'd want an ex-alien abductee to be my life coach. So that's a little bad PR there. Like, who would want to go to her for that? And
yeah, letting yourself go could be a little more of a trip than you expected.
I guess so.
I didn't mean leave the planet.
But there are credible accounts to take into consideration too. I mean, like I've talked past episodes about my uncle, who I think was the Navy, and he said that his bunkmate had to get up a couple times during their thing, and he had to go chase UFOs. Well, I mean, and then weird things happened to this guy, and he got car bombed. So it was like, and then there was Travis Walton from Fire in the Sky. He had a very credible account and witnesses. And then there was a story back in the 80s about this woman and her mother, and they were driving home from somewhere, and they saw what they thought was a UFO. They pulled over. They were shocked. They was like sort of hovering. They got out, and it was like really bright. I think they had their little boy with, and they all ended up with horrible, horrible cancer. They had burns on their face, and it was the stealth bomber. Now that now knowing what we know now, right. But back then, they had like 4th degree burns or something, and then their cancer, well, the grandma had like stage 4 cancer within weeks.
Oh boy. Yeah,
so I mean, we don't really know what's happening to this chick. Is it demonic? Is she got a mental illness? There is a tie to people who were sexually abused when they were young to alien abductions. So a lot of people think that, experts think that maybe that's their mind coping with it.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know anybody personally who is ever, I don't know.
Well, I know some aliens, but no big deal.
Yeah. But
you wouldn't know them. They're not from around here.
Oh my God. Okay. Now, what makes me think possibly demonic, there's some things she said, like that they came through a wall and how they solidified. I think she meant liquefied. You don't solidify. I don't know what she meant.
Yeah, you're really kind of pushing on that one. Just let it go.
And how they spoke through the mind. I mean,
of course,
could be demonic. I don't know.
Yes.
So, what do you think? You don't know, huh? In this case, about Lisa Tenney.
What about her?
Well, so you think that maybe she was definitely experiencing something. Yeah, I don't think she's making it up.
I'd love to say all these things or this or that. I mean, I'm not there. I don't know.
Well, you don't believe in aliens, do you?
No, but I'm,
yeah.
Just because I haven't. There's people that don't believe in the things we believe in because we've experienced it. So
yeah, well, they're wrong.
I haven't experienced it. I mean,
yeah.
I probably don't want to.
No, I would never want to either. That's extremely. I can't even imagine going through something like that.
I can imagine it.
Oh,
in
not
fact,
me.
I do it often, actually.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
But being probed by aliens?
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Like that episode of South Park, Alien Probe.
Well, it's
Cartman. Okay. Next story. Exorcist TV. Movie Exorcist.
Spin-off.
Yeah.
Let's just make a nice little TV series about, people spinning their heads around.
Well, it's going to be based off William Blatty's 1971 novel about a priest who performs exorcisms on demonic spirits. It was supposed to come out May this year, but the actual premiere will be September 23rd. It's going to be on Fox. Gina Davis from The Fly and Thelma and Louise and stuff. She's going to be in like 4 episodes of it, I guess. But there's different episodes. It's so even though it's called The Exorcist, it's not based off the film The Exorcist, but there was an Exorcist movie. It was with what is his name?
Bob.
I don't know where my notes are. I had notes about the movie.
What? You're supposed to know all this stuff.
Well, okay, so anyways, it's a whole movie about a guy who has to, get rid of demons and stuff, and he's a Catholic priest and all that. But it's not based off of the Exorcist TV show. So I want to know, good idea or bad idea?
It's always a bad idea.
To have the show? I agree.
Yeah, just let it go.
But good idea, is it?
Want to see, though.
But is it a good idea because it's bringing realization to the forefront of this? I mean, a lot of people don't believe in this stuff. And I don't know. They do say ignorance is bliss.
Sometimes it is.
Yeah, I agree. But I don't know. If more people were apt to acknowledge some of that stuff, maybe they'd be more open to God.
Yes, they need to open their mind.
So you think it's a good idea?
No.
Or do you think they might lame it down? And
there's nothing wrong with truth.
Right.
But that's 99% of the time, that's not what you're getting.
Are they going to make it so lame that it's going to be, everybody's going to, no one's going to believe it?
There's nothing wrong with telling the truth. But
now, that the actual movie, The Exorcist, you said that was the scariest movie you ever saw.
For me.
Yeah. Oh, me too. I'm very right up there with that one, too. And I remember my aunt, when I was younger, I remember her coming home. She was staying at our house for some reason, and she had seen that movie. She didn't sleep for days. Back then, scary. It's still really scary.
Yeah.
Not like the lame new things that they make, but, old school scary. So, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with the show, but I just don't think it's a good... Do you think it's going to open spiritual doors? Do you think... Nah. You don't think so?
No more than the ghost hunting shows or any of those either.
But what if it starts a trend like the ghost hunting shows? Like, all of a sudden now everybody thinks they're an exorcist. Like everybody thought they were a ghost hunter after the shows. That's not good.
I still think I'm a superhero. What's the problem?
Oh, huge problem. I don't know. Well, the Catholic Church is well known for exorcisms, and that's where they get the movie. But they are very open about their rites and all that stuff, and how they perform these exorcisms and everything. But the true fact is, when they do these exorcisms, they take days and days and days. And ultimately, it's God, not the person, casting out the demons. But Jesus taught his disciples to lay hands on people and cast out demons instantly. That's the power of God. When you're sitting there struggling for days, and you're like, I don't know. I never understood why, because they don't, and I don't know each individual Catholic priest, so I can't speak on that, but if it takes days and days and days, something's not right there. And then in the Bible, there was that story where...
Are you saying something might be wrong?
I am.
Huh.
Well, in the Bible, the disciples couldn't cast the fever out of that one person.
Because that one was required prayer and fasting.
Yeah. Right. But they didn't know that. And Jesus said, well, you have to... So there's different demons, require different things. But I don't know, days and days, and you finally have to...
get, hungry.
Yeah.
Tired.
I think so. Well, they do. They get weak. They get sick. Yeah.
So I don't know. The thing is that begins to put it back on them, like it's their flesh that's able to do it. It's supposed to be done through the Spirit of Christ. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Whatever. We all have our little roads. And they just a darling.
Well, speaking of the devil on TV, there's this freaky clip that's shown up in the news. It's of a woman being possessed by a demon. And it happens just moments after her neighbor had an exorcism. And it's all caught on the news.
Okay.
So the story goes that this whole thing was caught on by a TV news crew. They were interviewing people on this street about their neighbors' supernatural experiences. This woman supposedly had been tormented by demons and was delivered from them by these priests. So while the news crew was questioning this woman about her neighbor's release from this demonic hold, they reportedly witnessed her becoming possessed during the interview. Mm-hmm.
Well, they have to go someplace.
Right, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
when you cast something out, you have to send it someplace.
Now, this whole bizarre scene happened in Nicaragua. It was a woman's family, and they claimed that she'd been suffering from months of strange behavior, and they attributed it to 3 months of a torment by spirits. The news clip shows the woman, and she's like wide-eyed and acting really odd, and then she gets aggressive, and she even throws a shoe at her neighbors who walk over to her. After hearing about her possession, these 2 priests from a nearby church, they perform an exorcism to free her from the demons. And in the video, you can actually hear them commanding, leave her in peace, leave her in peace. And the witnesses say that the woman appeared to be calm after hours of praying. Okay.
Okay.
And only moments after she becomes calm, while the news reporters are interviewing the neighbor, the spirit seemed to jump to her. And she started acting all crazy. And then the priest ran over to her. So, I don't know. It's, and it's very possible.
And this is a new game called a jump a spirit. That's right. You can
Whack-a-mole.
take your spirit and send it wherever you would like. Well, jump here and jump there.
They do. They have to go somewhere.
Yeah, they do.
And she was probably a wide open. Now, this was in San Jose, I don't know, San Gorge, I don't know, Jorge. And it's known that they are dabbling in the occult. Their main religion is Santeria, which is, they say it's a Catholic religion, but it's mixed with voodoo. So there's a lot of weird occult stuff going on. So it's very possible that this thing was very active
possible, sure.
and hopping around. And that's what will happen. And that's the thing is when people are going to go to someone's house and they're going to try and deliver them from a ghost or a spirit, you have to make sure everybody that's doing it is prayed up.
Right.
And they're doing what they're supposed to do because that spirit can come right onto them. No one is safe unless God protects you.
Like a flea.
Yes, don't fleas do that? They jump.
Yep, they jump.
Yep. Lice.
But
I don't know what repels.
Kangaroos
jumping out on people.
Oh.
So, I don't know. You're not real serious. You're not into this tonight.
Oh, no. I'm just...
you're singing and talking about kangaroos.
You're just kind of sending out all the information here, and I'm just, hanging over here.
Yeah, but you're supposed to...
I mean, not everybody wants the information, so people are just let's just chill. So I'm the chill side for them.
They want to chill.
That's right.
Yeah, but you're so deep with your thoughts. Not tonight.
I'm real shallow today.
I guess so. We're gonna wade in the pool of shallow with Scott.
Yeah.
All right. So
take a walk on the wild side.
This is a real question I have for you, though.
Oh, good.
Why?
I'll give you a real answer.
Why do other countries besides the U.S. have so much demonic activity that is acceptable? You would never... You hear about this stuff in all these other countries.
But that's just... we have a dominant Catholicism in our country, and other countries have it. And so you're going to be... What you're surrounded by is what you're going to practice and think's okay.
Yeah, but other countries...
If we were born in a place... God places people where He wanted them right off the bat.
Yeah.
And as they're born. So those people that are born in a community that practices something else, that's probably what they're going to become.
Do you think, too, that... Oh, so it has to do with their practices,
Sure,
basically.
if that's where you are.
Yeah, I guess so. You just hear about it so much.
They look at us the same way.
Well,
they would look at us and say, why did
we hear one, maybe two stories. Because overall, you don't hear about paranormal news at all in the news. But in these other countries, the police are recognizing it, and the news are like, oh yeah, schools are being evacuated because there's this mass demonic infestation. So it's just their religious beliefs are different, I guess, huh?
That's part of the end times too, though. Things are going to spread and there'll be more and more.
Yeah.
Goes everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Satan's doing his army, and that's why it's sort of like the spin where people practice dark stuff and bring in more dark stuff, and then that dark stuff influences more people to do more dark stuff, and you get in this cycle that doesn't end.
Absolutely.
And it's expanding, too. It's just all over.
An expanding cycle.
Yeah.
Just to put that together for everybody.
Thank you. Okay. Supernatural or CGI? We've mentioned on a past episode the story that appeared to be that floating city in China.
Yeah.
That was so cool. Okay, but now in New York, people are appearing in the sky. There's been this photograph that was taken by a New York resident, the Big Apple skyline, and it looks as if in the clouds there's silhouettes of people.
Right.
And I will have these pictures up on our Facebook page. But it was reported by this paranormal YouTube channel, and some people say that is it a heavenly sign, another dimension, alien contact. And it's funny because researchers are coming out saying that they theorize that alternate dimensions, given the correct conditions, can briefly appear and manifest in our own reality. I'm like, really? That's interesting. Whoa. Stargate. Yeah. Debunkers feel it's a reflection off the observation deck above Rockefeller Center, which could very well be. Because, in this story in the YouTube channel, I don't know who the person is that took the picture. They don't say. And if you look at the picture, these people are very profound. I mean, the silhouettes. It's not
Right.
like, oh, is that a person? Like, you could look in the clouds and go, oh, it's an elephant. No, you can really see these people. So, to me, it was either faked or the Rockefeller Center where there's people on the observation deck. Very possible. But a long time ago, we did talk about the Blue Beam Project, which is the whole government working with holograms and trying to trick people. So I'm wondering, that's a possibility, another experiment.
Could be.
Not the blue beam, but with holograms.
Maybe a red beam.
To see how people are going to panic.
Well, the government's always playing with something.
Yeah.
Something to make us think, wonder, play.
Yeah, so it
Let's
could
just
definitely...
play with these people and see what happens.
And, you always have to consider when you see these videos online or pictures that go through, I mean, you really, really have to look at who's posting it, first of all. Find the original poster, because, it can go through 10, 20 different people.
And then look for the backstory, the information you don't know.
Yeah.
There could be stuff back, it's like it was a joke to begin with.
Exactly.
Kind of like that one movie we talked about last week, the Blair Witch.
Yeah.
When it came out, I mean, it was just a movie, but there was a percentage of people that were like, whoa, I mean, it was really scary because they thought it was real.
Yeah.
And so,
And then people will put up past things about it, and then they make pictures look old, so it's like, oh, it was real.
It was real.
And that's what sucks, because...
Lies.
Exactly.
There's noise, and all the ridiculous toys.
Usually when people send us pictures of orbs and stuff, we don't even bother because we weren't there when it was taken. We don't know the conditions.
Right.
And I know you can visually, through the camera and stuff, capture things.
It's tough to look,
but
to find an actual orb that's real.
Yeah.
Most
and
of them are dust.
I think it's funny because, and here's a little TSR tip for you all. When you go to a graveyard at night and you take pictures and there's 1,000 orbs, yeah, people think that it's the spirits from the graves, the people in the graves. It's either the dust, the dirt, the fog, bugs, light reflection.
Yeah.
I mean, it's anything but spirits. You are not going to get 1,000 spirits hanging out at the graveyard.
Yeah, they got other things to do.
They're not hanging out by the gravestone.
Yeah.
Hey, when I die, I'm going to hang out at the graveyard. No. And we get so many people. Hey, can you just take a look at this picture? When we were at the graveyard ghost hunting, and it's all these dust particles, or I'm just like, or a lot of times it's the mist, the fog, and stuff.
We've seen the difference between dust
Oh
particles.
yeah. Well, I used to be a photographer professionally, so I know I can. And it's just like, oh my goodness, and you can't tell anybody they're wrong.
No, yeah.
Oh no, it was a ghost. So, oh gosh. Black mass ritual in Oklahoma. Oklahoma City Civic Center was flooded with people for a play called The Consumption of Mary. It was really a black mass by the Church of, I think it's Ahriman, which is a congregation of self-described Satan worshipers. And again, I'm probably getting the name wrong. It's led by Adam Daniels, who is a convicted sex offender, just want to say.
Just a small detail.
But he's the Church of Ahriman, which is the Church of Transformation. And thousands of Christians came to protest this event, and it consisted of 2 rituals. And this happened a while back, not that long ago, like a month or so ago. But it's happy to hear that these people protesting and whatever, it worked because they hardly had anybody turn out to this thing. So that's a good thing. But on Christmas Eve last year, Daniels poured costume blood on a statue of Mary in front of the St. Joseph Cathedral in Oklahoma. He had a permit from the city hall. So, yeah.
Who gives a permit to deface something?
Well, they probably didn't think they were gonna, but but the thing is that they were questioned, why are you allowing this? And they give this whole statement, and the statement actually said, we have to, because it's going to cost the taxpayers money to fight it, and 9 times out of 10, we're going to lose. So you're out money, we didn't win, and I see their point, but you always have to stand up for what's right. I'm sorry if it's costing you money.
People back them up with something, it's like...
Well, then everybody's going to run us over, you know?
Run us over.
So, it just really stinks because I think this could, too, be the same group or it might be connected to the group that's handing out, flyers and stuff in Florida of demonic stuff.
Right.
I mean, it's ridiculous what they're doing. And they're like, well, it's a faith, it's a religion. But, yeah, Satan is like a bad. It's a demon and death and evil and bad things. Why would you want to promote that? You shouldn't have a right to want to be evil. I'm sorry, it's wrong. Ugh, so...
Be geared up tonight.
I am. There's a lot of messed up crackers in the world.
Let this out.
I do.
Yes,
all right.
That's right. How do you feel about that?
I feel good that I did that. I feel better.
Good.
I think we need to go to Sonic after this and maybe have some. Maybe I need more coffee. Yeah.
No, probably not.
Okay. Is Pokemon satanic?
No.
No. I personally have experience with this particular story, and when it surfaced today, I was like, yay, I can talk about it. Okay, so there is this debate among Christians. We are Christian, and I have sons. One's now 25 or 4. He's in 24. He's got to be 25, though. And
we're all going to be something. We're all going to be 100, too.
And we have a 13-year-old. And since the 4-year-old, since he's been little, he was into the Pokemon cards. And then my 13-year-old, when he was younger, was in the Pokemon cards. And then it just filtered out. But I've had people, Christians, telling me, oh, it's evil, it's the demon. And I have a lot of background in the occult. So it's easy for me to do this research. I researched the heck out of this thing. I cannot find a tie to Pokemon being satanic, okay? Then someone I know posted an article, and it actually resurfaced today, too, so that's why I'm talking about this. Someone I know posted it, I think, a week or so ago, and the article read, Pokemon creator admits games are anti-Christian, aimed towards Satanists. So now, all these Christians are hopping on the bandwagon. See, this is why you shouldn't be doing the Pokemon Go, and blah, 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 and it's bad. And, okay, so now they're all like, oh, I'm just staying away from it. They weren't bad-mouthing anybody, but they're like, this is why you shouldn't be doing it. And I'm like, I've researched the heck out of this thing. I'm not finding any ties. Everybody's like, oh, you need to research some more. I'm like...
It's like, give the information.
I'm like, okay, so...
Just give us the information so we can look it up.
So I go to read this article. Come to find out, there is an article in Time magazine where Satoshi Tajiri supposedly admits that the Pokemon was created as a backlash against his Christian parents, and that he also says the games are tailored towards an anti-Christian sentiment or Satanism. Okay? It's a false claim. It's a satirical story in 2012. He did give a actual interview to Time magazine, and someone, I don't know if they were Christian trying to, or they were just making it up to cause problems, but they make this whole fake story that he said. He didn't say any of that. I guess with the emergence of Pokemon Go, it resurfaced, but the true statement was that he based Pokemon partly on things that he remembered as a kid because he collected bugs and comics. Right. So that's how he did it. And so it's not bad. I know people say it's bad, and they're going to stick to that. Right. I'm just trying to find the tie and connection. My boys did it. They're both alive. No head spinning, no demonic stuff. There's far worse things that kids could be doing than this.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then they let their kids watch things that they shouldn't, but don't play Pokemon. Or they'll let them play the Warcraft game, but don't do Pokemon. It's like, so you really got to look at the perspective of everything on this.
Everything has a perspective, absolutely.
So Pokemon are called, they're Pokemon because they're pocket monsters, okay? But Christians call them pocket demons, and, it's related to the occult and Eastern mysticism. And I guess what you could say to this in their defense is that God does say, if you're not for me, you're against me. Okay? So, I mean, in a way, if you're doing something maybe that you shouldn't be doing, maybe in a way it's against God. It's I guess how you look at it. Now, there are some Pokemon that would seemingly seem against God. There's Kadabra, which is like the cast spells, Ghastly, Ghostly, Haunter. There's psychic Pokemon. And all that stuff the Bible says we're not supposed to do. So they're saying you're allowing these kids to embrace that and to be okay with it. And, I felt that way too, so I didn't
I think it's everybody's parents individual. I mean, they need to be watching what their kids are doing, not worried about everybody else's.
Oh, but they do. Takes a village to raise,
Yeah, it's like...
I didn't let my kids have the psychic cards and things because I was like, that's a little weird and dark.
Yeah, that's getting
because
weird,
they just collected them and it's over now. It's like just a little... But you start holding back your kids from every single thing, they will rebel. And then you're screwed in the end.
Yeah.
So you got to give them a little leeway. And it's okay to say, hey, look, this is what, use it as a tool to explain to them, you know what, this could be bad, it might not be bad, it's how you view it, you use it, instead of saying, nope, forget it, you're going to go to hell. So, I don't know. But you got to be careful what you read. Always Snopes it, Snopes.com, because that's where I found this article, the real article. And you know what? And research it too, because sometimes Snopes can be wrong. So
They can be. This is true, Heidi.
Yeah.
You are just a godsend.
Thank you.
Unbelievable.
And Christians just have to be careful pointing the finger at people and their wrongdoings and making claims, because Satan is in a lot of things, but he is not in everything. So it is what you make it, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can make anything bad, too.
Like, isn't it like the whole gun thing? Guns aren't bad. People are bad.
Right.
And the Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. Not money. But you'll hear a lot of Christians say, oh, money is bad. And it's like,
it's the root of it.
It's the root of it.
You
The loving it. Yeah.
That, right.
But not money itself. You could give it to charity. So that's how you look at it. Perspective, people.
People, work with me, people.
Okay. Exorcon. Okay, we're not going to make any local friends with this one. So if you want to know how to stop little kids from spinning their heads and projecting green vomit, this is the place to be. It's officially titled Summer Conference 2016, The Virgin Mary's Role in Defeating Satan. The conference is hosted by Milwaukee's Pope Leo XII Institute, and it's taking place at a seminary just outside of Chicago. We're between Milwaukee and Chicago, so hey. It has a daily lineup of prayer, holy mass, meals, and compelling talks on battling Satan, all with a merry theme.
With a merry theme. Okay.
Are you kidding me? Is this an attraction at Disney World or what?
Yeah.
The guest speaker is Father Gary Thomas. And everybody's like, ooh. Okay, it's like, okay, who's Father Gary Thomas? He traveled to Rome to study under the famed exorcist, Father Carmen de Philippus.
Okay.
His story was the basis of a 2010 book called The Rite. All right. It was made into a movie starring Anthony Hopkins, and that's the story I was looking for The Exorcist. So they're also talking about him in the new series too. But so because this guy worked under somebody who was there at the exorcism, now he's famous.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, sort of
and if you touched his shoulder, if you shared lunch with him or something.
If you took pictures with Josh Gates, you
do know who this is, don't you? He once ate lunch with a friend of a neighbor's of an uncle's aunt. That knew this person. Friend. Aunt's uncle, cousin. And that's why they're famous.
And I walk their dog, so you need my autograph.
And we both have, one of our letters and our names is the same.
So you know who it is, yeah. $50 for an autograph, baby.
Yeah, hey!
Oh, God. So Father Thomas is giving a talk titled, Mary and Exorcism, How the Mother of God is Present During Every Exorcism. Really?
I guess she makes her, if there's more than one going on, then I guess she's omnipresent.
Yeah.
If there's more than one, because now what if there's two exorcisms going on? And she's present in every one, then she's going to either be really, really fast.
Excellent point, Yoda.
If she's omnipresent, well, that's kind of doesn't make sense.
I just don't think it's the Mary of the Bible. Because if it was the Mary of the Bible...
Yeah. Maybe it was Mary, quite contrary.
It can't be Mary, because the Bible says Mary was just a person like you and I.
She was a special person that was selected by God. A very important role and job that she got to do.
And she was Jesus' mom, but, I mean, she doesn't have powers like God, and she's not in charge of exorcism ministry. I mean, where are they getting this stuff? The Catholic Church loves Mary. They love her.
There's no reason not to love her, but
Well, I don't know her.
She didn't die for me.
Right. Thank you. So, I don't know. One of the learning objectives is the priest participants develop an expertise with the rite of exorcism and methods for use. The Institute also offers a 10-day exorcism course. $1,500 clergy discount.
Yeah, that's the job I want to start doing.
They're charging to teach how to do God's work. Right there. That's wrong. That's wrong.
Yeah, right. You can't. What you need to know to do God's work isn't something that you're going to, with the exception of studying and reading the Bible, you're going to get it any other way but through faith.
Oh my gosh. There are some crazy people out there.
Yep, that's what I hear.
Anybody who'd pay $1,500 for that is probably crazier than that Lisa Tenney alien chick. Oh, but I'm not saying she's crazy, because I think she's being haunted by something. I just don't think it's aliens. But I could be wrong. I don't know. Never met an alien. Maybe, maybe not. You know?
Right?
I don't know everything. So.
You were just a yapper today. You were pumped.
I was. There's so much craziness out there. I want to share it with the world.
The world wants to hear it.
All right, good, because I'm a chick, so that's
You're
what I
a
do.
chick.
I talk.
All right.
So do you want to say anything? You can. It's your turn.
Well,
no?
I
okay.
think
Well,
that's about it.
All right. There's gonna be no rock and reject because the whole thing was rock and reject tonight. But we will meet you guys back here next week, and thanks for listening.
Now remember to email us. Tell us what you think of the show.
Do it.
Give us a call. Leave a message on the TSR hotline. 262-757-TSR2. And if you have a spiritual question or a paranormal issue, or a question or a comment about anything at all, like, what do you think's better, mayonnaise or Miracle Whip, what do you think? We're here.
We're here for you.
We're close. All right. Anything we talked about, email us. We honestly do want to help.
Yes.
And remember not to look so hard for answers that you stumble over lies and miss the truth.
Hey, this is Heidi from Talk Supernatural. You guys know I like to talk, right? So let's keep the talk. Page, Talk Supernatural Podcast. And follow us on Twitter at TSR Parapod. Like us, love us, hate us, hit us up with an email. TalkSupernatural@gmail.com. Listen live on Friday nights and join us in the chat room. We'll make you guys part of the show.
Check out more from Talk Supernatural Radio. Head over to tsradio.net. You can listen to TSR on iTunes, Spreaker, TuneIn, and YouTube. If you have any questions or would like to know more on spiritual afflictions, hauntings, demonic influence, check out Scott and Heidi's SWAT resource site at EPH612SWAT.com.
This world's a tortured place to be. So many things to torment me. And as I stumble down this road, it takes a toll. I need an intervention. But I can see it coming. Some things just can't be explained.
And that's all, folks.